So I have a question for you, and that question is, how much do you truly allow yourself to receive in life? And I'm not just talking about receiving a gift or something like that, which is obviously still very nice. I'm talking about allowing yourself to receive life and the gifts that nature gives us every single moment, which we often desensitize ourselves to. And I'm talking about going outside and allowing yourself to receive the oxygen into your body and receive the sunlight on your face, or going out and putting your bare feet on the ground, on the nature or in the sand if you go to the beach, and just receiving the earth's energy up into your body. And there's so many things that are there for us to be receptive to. However, in our culture, we're so conditioned to think that we constantly have to be giving, constantly have to be looking after everyone else, have to be worrying about the world, worrying about everything, all this responsibility. And what this means is that we very rarely actually allow ourselves to come back into the body and receive and allow that pleasure to wash over us. And again, it could be as simple as relaxing into a couch or lying in bed before you go to sleep at night and just truly allowing yourself to receive the gift of the earth holding your weight and the gift that comes from resting. Or it could be allowing yourself to receive the gentle touch of a friend or your lover or even a pet, or allow yourself to receive the joy of a child playing or a dog bounding with joy, allowing yourself to receive the beautiful colors of a rainbow or a painting, or the beautiful taste of a fresh meal, especially something grown from nature, and allow yourself to receive the gift of nature, that plant gifted that food to you, and the sun gifted its energy to this planet to allow that food to grow, and the trees gift us their oxygen. There's so much to receive in this planet, but as I said, we're so conditioned to be giving that we don't allow ourselves to receive. And it all comes back to that yin-yang balance, you know. Yang is our doing, our giving, and yin is our resting and receiving. And all of nature has this balance. All of nature allows itself to give at the same time of allowing itself to receive. And humans are the only ones who basically disconnect ourselves from that balance. And this also comes back to the male female aspect that's within us all, and with the yin representing our inner female energies and the yang representing our inner male energies. And the male energies reside up in the head. That's where our point of awareness for the male aspect of our consciousness is. And this is all about analyzing and doing and thinking and putting ourselves under pressure and all of these sort of things, whereas the female aspect of the consciousness down in our pelvic bowl, in our gut region, is what allows ourselves to rest in the present moment and receive the magic of the world around us, and let that flow guide us and carry us so that we can just surrender to it. And it's important to try to harness those balances of those energies, the balance of those energies as we move through life. But as a culture, in our Western culture, we're very much leaning towards the male yang aspect of our consciousness, constantly doing, and we don't ever allow ourselves to receive relief and receive the pleasure that comes from surrendering to our yin, our inner female energies. And as a result of that, we are constantly seeking relief, because when we're so caught up in the yang, we get so tense and we get so worked up and we get so anxious and we get so fearful that we need relief. So we seek relief in artificial ways, and it's just become normalized in our culture that seeking relief through artificial means is just normal. And it could be through food addictions, drug addictions, social media, anything, you name it. There is There are so many things that we can use to give ourselves this artificial relief, but the problem with that is it doesn't actually get to the core of the issue, which is this inability to surrender into our inner female energies, which are down in the body, and this disconnect between the head and the body that we're suffering as a culture. And you can see that in how little we practice embodiment, and how little we focus on reconnecting or coming home into the body, and how little we nurture the body, which is constantly pummeling it. We just work. We fill ourselves with coffee and other stimulants, which I've got nothing against, but they're all yang energy. We've already got this yang energy, then we're drinking yang energy, and we're just yanging our way through life. And there's only so much there's only so far you can go out of that balance before something breaks, because there's meant to be that yin yang balance, male female balance that exists all throughout nature. And so we don't nurture ourselves, we just yang our way through life, try to force our way through life, and we never, because we're so busy forcing and pushing and yanging, we don't actually stop and come back to the present moment, come back to the body, and just be like, I'm going to allow myself to receive here. I'm going to allow myself to feel this pleasure in this moment, because I deserve this. I didn't come to this planet just to be giving all of my energy my entire life. It's no one made us sign a contract that said that's the way human life is meant to be. So we don't have to, and we can do things that are more nurturing. We can have a massage once in a while, go to yoga, nurture your body, do some deep breathing, go down the beach, go into nature and take some walks. Allow yourself to go out and enjoy a good meal, enjoy a good movie, and just really tap into your body and notice how it makes your body feel. Get out of the head. But it's not as easy as just getting out of the head. We've got to allow ourselves to get out of the head. We've got to give ourselves permission to come back into the body and receive the pleasure all around us. And it's even the colors. Like, we don't realize that we're living this human experience in Technicolor. Like, it's all these brilliant colors, the blues of the sky, the greens of nature, and the smells, all of these things, the touch and the feel of things, all of these pleasurable experiences that are there, accessible to our senses, that our senses are picking up, but we desensitize ourselves to because we're so trapped in the head. And so the only way we can actually receive from life and allow ourselves to rest is to practice embodiment, practice coming back into the body. And there's different things that work for different people. For me, meditation daily, but it doesn't have to be chanting Om or sitting cross-legged. It's just literally taking 5-10 minutes out to remove the external stimuli, remove all the noise and distraction that's keeping you up here, and bring your attention in your meditation back down to the body and just feel what's going on there. Feel the heartbeat, feel your organs, feel the energies running through you, feel the pockets and sparkles of anxiety, and let it just flow. Just let it just be, and just notice it, tap into it. And what this does is it teaches you to become more aware and more alive in your senses and more present in the moment. And when we're present, we're actually receiving the gifts of the present moment. Other things for me, yoga. I find yoga really releases a lot of tension in my body, because with tension in the body, we can't come back to the body. When the body's riddled with tension and unease, it's really difficult to inhabit it. It's a really uncomfortable place to inhabit. And also eating good foods, when we're filling ourselves with toxins and we're abusing stimulants and all these things, the body, once again, it's a really difficult place to inhabit. Other things, getting out in nature, getting your bare feet on the ground and earthing, allow the earth's energy to come up into your body and reharmonize your body's electromagnetic field, and getting away from technology for every now and then. Like, really try to challenge yourself to not check social media so much, not check your phone so much. There was a study that showed that the average person checks their phone 85 times a day, and so it's just become a normalized addiction. But every time you check your phone, you bring yourself back into your head and out of your body. And I know for me, social media really keeps me trapped in my head, keeps the thought loops going, and when I take breaks from it, I noticed my mind is much calmer and it's much easier to come back into the body. There's another guy, Philip Shepherd, who has a website called philipshepherd.com, who has some amazing embodiment practices. That he's got some recordings on his website. They all go for a few minutes each. It all help you tap back into the body's energy, the body's intelligence, and come back into the body and anchor yourself in the present moment, because we're, as I said, we're a society so locked in the head, and because we're locked in the head, we're out of the present moment. We're just obsessed with doing, we don't allow ourselves to rest, we burn ourselves out, we can't receive the gifts of life, the gifts from others, the joy and pleasure that comes with this human experience. It is there for us to receive, but we're just so disconnected from it because we just don't know how to receive. And the problem is we burn ourselves out, and you've got one life, and as I said, there's no contract that you signed that said that you have to wear the weight of the world on your shoulders, that all the issues in the world are your responsibility or your problems. Every now and then you can just turn off and allow yourself to just let go of all that. You were born into this world the way it is, and we're all, we've got to do the best we can to make positive changes, but we can't take all the pressure and all the weight of the world on us, because then we're no good to anyone. Then we just burn ourselves out. Then we become addicted. We become alcoholics. We become food addicts. We become drug addicts. All these things that happen because we burn ourselves out and we don't know how to give ourselves relief, so we seek for it in these artificial means. And I know this from experience, because I spent 8 to 10 years deeply addicted to sleeping pills, and essentially it came back to this fear of not surrendering and letting go, of going to bed every night and not being able to surrender to the bed and allow myself the pleasure of just sinking into that bed and receiving its warmth and receiving its comfort and receiving its gifts of rest and the earth that's holding me up. What a gift. So it's important to remember, because if we're not in the present moment, we're not actually living. If you're not in the present moment, you're not living, because when you're in your head, you're projecting into the future, which hasn't happened, and you're projecting and worrying about the past, which has already happened. So you're living in this illusory fantasy world, and none of it is real. So coming back to the present moment is the only reality that there is, and the side effects of that are all positive. More pleasure, more receiving, more gifts, more aliveness, more connection to yourself and to others. And your life doesn't flash before your eyes like that, because you're actually taking it all into your body. So this was just a reminder, and it's something that I'm still working on myself. I definitely get caught in the trap in my head, and I'm only just learning to start receiving, and I've always worn the weight of the world on my shoulders, thinking that it's my responsibility to save everyone and save the world, and it's just another fantasy of the head. All we can do is do our best and then surrender to the moment. So it's a little nice reminder for you. I hope this helps, and I'll see you on the next video. And please remember to subscribe if you wish to see any more of our videos.